He is making that transition from outstanding amateur technician to outstanding professional boxer. He's got a bomb in his right hand, and Tommy Karpensy of the United States is expected to be up against it tonight, going in against Gvozdik. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape in the light heavyweight division, dominated by bombers like Sergey Kovalev and Adonis Stevenson, and you can see that Gvozdik, at 29 years old, needs to get going right now against the 30-year-old Karpensy. There's a 3-inch height advantage for the Ukrainian fighter, and that could be significant, as could be the half-inch arm length advantage measured from the armpit to the end of the fist. They both weighed in at or a half pound under the 175-pound limit, and as you see tonight, they have rehydrated moderately. Karpensy coming into the ring unofficially 2 pounds heavier than Oleksandr Gvozdik. Let's go to Michael Bufford to start the evening off in the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the MGM Grand of Las Vegas, Nevada, USA, where tonight Hall of Fame promoter Mr. Bob Barham and Top Rank Incorporated are proud to present an evening of world-class professional boxing for your entertainment. And it's sponsored by Cerveza Tecate, Born Bold, the new movie Hands of Stone, the true story of Hall of Famer Roberto Duran, starring Edgar Ramirez, Robert De Niro, Usher Raymond, in theaters everywhere August 26th. All bouts sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Anthony A. Marnell III, Executive Director Bob Bennett. This contest is also sanctioned by the NABF, President Dwayne Ford, Supervisor Craig Hubble. The 3 judges scoring this bout, Tim Cheatham, Eric Cheek, and Glenn Trowbridge. And inside the ring, in charge of the action at the bell, referee Kenny Bayless. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this party started. 10 rounds of boxing for the NABF Light Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white, official weight 174 1/2 pounds. His professional record, 26 victories, including 15 wins by knockout with 5 defeats and 1 draw. From Ada, Pennsylvania, USA, the challenger, Tommy Kryptonite Karpensy. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing blue with white, officially weighing in at 175 pounds. His record as a professional, a perfect one. 10 fights, 10 victories, including 8 wins by knockout. From Kharkiv, Ukraine, the undefeated, reigning and defending NABF Light Heavyweight Champion, Oleksandr Gvozdik.
Okay, blue corner, red corner. Trunks are okay on both sides. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room, but I want to caution you again to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, touch them up.
Gvozdik is the latest product of Ukraine that looks like he has a very bright future in boxing. This kid is really good.
In his most recent fight, Gvozdik took on Najib Mohammadi. Mohammadi you saw last summer as a 3rd-round knockout victim against Sergey Kovalev. Gvozdik got rid of him in 2 rounds with as hard a straight right hand as you've ever seen, putting him away essentially with 1 punch. And Gvozdik can be expected to start with the jab here because, again, as an amateur, Roy Jones, he was a skilled technician. He's only now learning as a professional how dangerous his punching power can be.
Yeah, that's how those guys from that area of the world are, Jim. They're taught so much skills, so many skills at that time as amateurs that when they come to the United States to become professionals, they become exceptional pros because of the fact that their basic foundation is so good.
And sometimes they don't even know what their potential may be for the pro game. Remember, the great story about Sergey Kovalev is that he came to Don King's heavyweight camp in eastern North Carolina and mentioned Don Turner, not Don King, Don Turner's heavyweight camp in eastern North Carolina, and mentioned early on to Turner that his concern was, I'm not sure I have enough power to be an effective professional. And after a day or two, Turner said, don't worry about that part. You'll be all right. Now Karpensy knocking Gvozdyk back into the ropes.
Yeah, Karpensy is a guy who has a lot of experience as well, Jim. I used him as a sparring partner before I fought Joe Calzaghe. So Karpensy has been in the ring with the best of the best. He knows how to maneuver himself in there. However, he has had a rocky up and down type of a career, so, you know, we'll see what he brings tonight.
Well, he fought Adonis Stevenson, and that's not an easy assignment. Ultimately went away in the face of Stevenson's big bombs, and we'll see if he can handle the punching power of Gvozdyk.
Oh, just dropped Gvozdyk.
And down goes Gvozdyk on a Karpensky right hand.
Gvozdyk is hurt bad.
5.
First knockdown of Gvozdyk's professional career.
No, I know this is the first fight of an undercard, but a televised portion, but this would be a monster upset if Karpensy could stop him here.
Sure would.
You got to take his time, though, but not get caught himself. If he gets caught
Karpensky
himself.
going after him in a hurry. Gvozdyk trying to back up, create a little distance, slow this down. He got a couple of extra seconds as Kenny Bayless paused to say, are you really all right?
Well, he just landed a good shot on Karpensky, too, and it stopped Karpensy from coming at him anymore.
Just as you guys were talking about the little kind of tricks of the trade that Karpensy knows, he used one to land that right hand, a beautiful shot. To floor Gvozdyk.
So an educational experience for Gvozdyk, who's heavily favored here, and now lands a little right hand and a left hook to reestablish himself a little bit in the fight.
Oh, and that hurt him again, Jim.
That's right. The left hand got to him one more time.
And it's bad because he had just hurt Karpensy with a good straight right hand. Then he got countered with a straight left that hurt him.
So we've got a fascinating fight in the light heavyweight division as the star prospect Gvozdyk is knocked out in the first round by Tommy Karpensy.
Okay, take a deep breath, okay? Got you cold, that's all right, it happens in boxing, okay? Get some water. Look, still one more round, still be careful, okay? Don't go try anything different, don't get careless. We got plenty of rounds, okay? We got plenty of rounds. So right now, this next round, I want you to recover a little bit more. Move around, jab, jab. Don't take too many chances. If he gets too close to you, hold him if you have to hold, all right? Until the ref breaks it up. For this next round, fight it smart, okay? Jab, jab, 1, 2, 1. Keep it on the outside. No need to exchange. Give me one more round like that, all right? I want you to recover.
Here you see Karpensy just laying in, waiting for the mistake, and then bing, there goes a right hook that really dropped Gvozdyk because he wasn't ready for it. That's a beautiful right hook right on the chin that Gvozdyk had no clue was coming, and it's always the ones that you don't see coming that do all the damage.
Karpensy has produced the unexpected before. He had a win over Chad Dawson, and that was completely unexpected at the time when it took place, although Dawson, of course, was fading at that point in his career. But this could be another step forward for Karpensy if he could capitalize on that first-round knockdown of Gvozdyk.
Doesn't matter what you did in the amateurs, and he was a decorated amateur, Gvozdyk. Doesn't matter how good you've looked as a young professional. You got to find out if a guy can take a punch in the pros, if he can overcome adversity. You heard Robert Garcia in the corner say, just use this round to clear your head.
And what Gvozdyk does good is the same thing that most of those guys from that region do. They throw a few pity-pat punches to set you up for the big one, and then bing, here comes the home run. And that's what he's been doing in this fight so far. Gvozdyk, that is.
There goes that right hand again. This time he was in a little better position to block it, Roy.
Yeah, he was, but Karpensy is very smart, taking his time, a seasoned professional, not burning himself out with the big punches, just trying to pity-pat enough to land his big shot as well. He's trying to set his right hook up using the straight left hand as a jab.
Karpensy's a smart fighter. He's doing certain cute things in there, finding a strange kind of range to land those little shots that look a little bit like chip shots, but actually have some force on them. Somewhere between the middle and inside distance, he's landing his shots.
And he's showing some really good defensive moves in here too, Mex.
Partially blocked straight left hand by Karpensy. He tries it again. Gvozdik goes to the body with the right hand.
And what Karpensy would need to do is follow that straight right hand with a left hand and a right hook behind it. Then he would land. But he's only trying to land a straight left behind the right hand of Gvozdik.
Couple of good combinations here by Gvozdik, who's regaining his confidence after that first round. And I'm wondering, Roy, should Karpensy have been more aggressive here in round 2 and put more pressure on Gvozdik?
No, he should have been more aggressive in round 1 when he dropped him, because he had him hurt really, really bad, Jim. There's no guarantee that he's going to hurt him that bad again. So when he had him in round 1, when you come in as the B-side fighter, if you ever get the main fighter hurt, you have to try to finish him. Now, he's landing some big shots right now, but Gvozdik seems to be taking them pretty well. So we'll have to hope, in his case, that he can land another big shot.
You just have the sense that Karpensy is a little bit quicker and more aggressive than Gvozdik expected him to be.
I told you it was no walkover.
Good little fight so far.
Next Saturday night, it's doubleheader action on HBO Latino as Antonio Orozco takes on Abner Lopez and Joseph Jojo Diaz matches up with Victor Proa. August 6th, Andre Ward on a collision course with Sergey Kovalev squares off against Alexander Brand in front of his hometown fans at the Oracle Arena in Oakland.
I need the jab, okay? I need the feint, okay? If you get against them ropes, drop down, throw that left hand and follow it in.
I'm trying to pace myself.
I know.
Ready.
I need the feints, I need the jab. Just do enough to win the round. Give me one more like that. Don't take chances yet, all right? We'll pick it up later on. Okay?
Very familiar
You feel
Robert
good? How's your body?
Garcia.
Feel good? All right then.
Training Gvozdik. Tommy Karpensy is trained by his father. We're in the light heavyweight division where Ward's fight against Alexander Brand on August 6th is the last stepping stone toward the big matchup. Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev, scheduled for November 19, HBO pay-per-view. .10-8 round in the first round for Tommy Karpensy, and now Harold Letterman scores the second round for Gvozdik. Good quick right inside by Karpensy. Gvozdik showing more movement on his feet now, early in round 3.
Good body shot by Gvozdik.
He felt he was a little too stationary in round 1.
But what happened to him, Jim, was he did get stationary for a moment. He threw punches and he stayed in the same place. You cannot stay in the same place after you throw punches, especially against a seasoned veteran like Tommy Karpensy.
No backhand.
So now he's learned already, and he's moving after he throws the big punches.
Now Gvozdik putting his punches together. Started to land combinations in round 2, throwing more of them here in round 3. Straight right down the middle against the southpaw. Basic weapon.
Karpensy has a strong right hook, Jim. Very strong right hook. Don't know if he'll get to land it again like that, but it's very strong. Now Gvozdik knows it, though, so he's aware of it. Keeping those hands high, not relaxing after he punches. Doing some brilliant boxing now to keep that right hook off of him.
Gvozdik showing you he can slide from side to side on his feet. Technique not all 175-pound fighters are going to master. Fight is scheduled for 10 rounds. So Gvozdik has all the time in the world to recover from the first round knockdown at the hands of Karpensy.
And that's what his corner told him, which was very smart by Robert Garcia. He said, we have plenty of rounds. Don't rush nothing. Take your time. I want you to recover a little bit more before you start to mount a real attack. And he did just that.
And what's developing now is a boxing match in which Gvozdik is the busier, more active fighter.
Much more active, much more busy.
Karpensy taught Gvozdik that first round knockdown that he has to respect them. And now they're settling into an actual boxing match.
Yeah, this is not one of the guys that you're going to hit one time and he's going to lay down.
Gvozdik landed a short right hand inside as the third round came to a close.
What? What's the matter? Huh? What?
No, I'm okay. I'm just
Good.
huh? You can't fucking.
What?
He ain't that good. Come on, you gotta keep pacing myself. That's right. Just take it.
Breathe. Breathe. That's right. Come on.
Work with some jabs in.
That nose. That nose, man.
Trying to jab a little bit, buddy. Okay? Jab a little bit. Let's go. I can't work like I want to. Take your time with a jab.
Jab. I need you to keep the jab, boy. I need you to keep your feints, all right? I need you to keep I want you to step to your right.
Okay.
Step to your right. Keep your hands up.
Hot.
All right, work inside a little bit. You inside, look for that little overhand like you threw a couple times.
I just gotta keep my pace good. Good. Here you go.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Come on.
And as round 4 begins, our unofficial ringside scorer is Boxing Hall of Fame member Harold Letterman. Harold, how do you have it so far?
Okay, Jim. I got it all even, 28-28. Actually, in rounds, 2 rounds to 1 for Gvozdik. You know, I thought he won rounds 2 and 3. Tommy Karpensky gets that extra point in round 1 for the beautiful knockdown with the right hand. You know, Jim, what I like about Gvozdik is that, you know, most European fighters are very straight-up guys. He moves his head real well. I mean, I'm sure that's what Robert Garcia taught him in the gym. Hey, good head movement. He moves real well, moves from side to side.
Tommy Karpensy has tape that's loose on the right hand, and now Kenny Bayless will stop the action so that Karpensy's glove can be properly taped.
And just to finish up, Jim, all even, 28-28, 2 rounds to 1, Gvozdik in rounds. But, you know, the important thing of boxing is the points, and that's all even.
Time in.
You heard in Karpensy's corner, Karpensy was complaining that he doesn't think Gvozdik is that good, that he can't get off the way he wants to, which maybe suggests that Gvozdik's a little better than he's giving him credit for, and that he kept harping on pacing himself, and he was breathing through his mouth, although as though his conditioning, Roy, isn't where he wants it to be.
Well, you're not sure how long of a notice he got for this fight, you know. Usually when you're the B-side guy, a.k.a. the opponent, you don't get a long notification before you get a fight. You know, and you always try to stay in a little bit of shape, but you're just in shape enough to take what you get. So he probably wasn't in a full training camp like Gvozdik would have been. That's why he has to pace himself.
No, stop. No.
I wonder if the frustration Karpensy was relating in the corner has more to do with that idea.
It
that
does.
he's not conditioned to the point that he feels he could execute the things he sees, or is Gvozdik in his own way doing things to make him better than he seems to be to Karpensy?
No. What it is Karpensy knows that if he had the proper time to prepare for a fight like this, he feels like he could win it because he knows that now he can hurt Gvozdik, but he's not in enough shape to produce the type of output to get that opening again to land a big shot on Gvozdik.
And Gvozdik is now outworking him, as he outworked him in the second and third rounds, and that's continuing here into round 4.
And Gvozdik is a very good boxer with great technique, going left, going right, not staying right in front of Karpensky right now, which is something that he learned from that first round.
Gvozdik, an Olympic bronze medalist. Sometimes the guys who win silver medal, like Golovkin, or bronze medal, like Gvozdik, come out with more motivation coming into the pros. They haven't reached that goal that they wanted to reach, the gold medal. And so they're a little less satisfied coming in.
Like Roy Jones Jr.
Like Roy Jones Jr., who wound up with a bogus silver medal. And the International Olympic Committee, in its infinite wisdom, has never yet given Roy Jones the gold medal he deserved from the Seoul Olympics in 1988.
Good right hand by Gvozdik.
Pride of Omaha, Nebraska, Terrence Crawford arriving for his first giant showcase in Las Vegas. First pay-per-view appearance. A lot of people thought maybe this fight would take place in Omaha, where he's building a following and proving that he can sell out a 20,000-seat arena over and over. But instead, here we are for his first appearance at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. And he makes a walk down a long hallway that he hopes to make several more times in his career.
When you got him in the ropes too, his hands are right here, so go behind the elbows. Go hard
inside the arena.
Right? Somebody.
That man, Olександр Gvozdik, has recovered, at least for the time being, from a shocking first-round knockdown at the hands of Tomí Karpensí. And Gvozdik appears to have gained control of the boxing match, which has developed since the first-round knockdown.
Karpensy's an interesting guy, has an interesting story. His father was always training guys in the gym and involved in boxing, has two younger brothers, both professional fighters, has a degree in nursing, a bachelor's degree in nursing, and worked full-time as a nurse until not that long ago, where he became a full-time fighter.
Has a win over Chad Dawson, the former undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world.
Yep.
Took on lineal titleist Adonis Stevenson and got knocked out in 5 his last fight. Came to boxing after winning a couple of tough man competitions, and that's a time-honored genesis, because about 100 years ago, Jack Dempsey entered boxing after winning a series of tough man contests. So that's a good identity.
Oh, good shot by Gvozdik.
In recent years, maybe not that recent anymore, really, I'm dating myself, but Greg Haugen, who had a lightweight belt, came out of the tough man competitions and fought like a seasoned veteran fighter kind of right away. And Karpensy took it up late, like 20 years old, 19 or 20 years old, and also shows a lot of, in boxing parlance, they call it a cutie. He's a real cutie for a guy who picked it up that late.
A cutie and very tough. I mean, he had some great battles with his in-state rival, Rayco Sanders. He has a brother, one of his brothers that box has a hell of a punch. I used to call him Big Johns because he can punch so hard. But he come from a fighting background, that's for sure.
And if Karpensy's a cutie, he's a little bit less cute at this moment now with a cut on the bridge of his nose.
Yeah, when we say cutie, we speak in boxing terms.
I know. I understand.
Jim,
I know we're not talking about
Were you
face.
under the impression that we were...
Oh, I know what you're saying. I just couldn't resist making the comment, that's all.
The cutie isn't so cute anymore, huh?
Nonsensical as it is, he's got a cut on the bridge of his nose.
The line from Raging Bull. Ain't pretty no more. So much of boxing is opportunity. Roy, you pointed out the kind of disadvantage that fighters who are not as connected, don't have the glossy records, the disadvantage therein compared to the what is called the A-side fighter that has the promotional money behind them. Look at this.
Well, he got the heart of a champion now. You got to worry about that.
It has the look of a last-ditch rally. He lands a left hand, misses with this big left, but moments before he started this big rally, Karpensy was rubbing his nose, shaking his head as if to say, okay, this cut on the nose is really going to bother me. Now I'm going to unload all the rest of my arsenal and see if that does anything.
Really has a look of discouragement on his face right now.
Yes.
Discouraged look.
September 10 at 5:30 p.m. Triple G. Gennady Golovkin takes his big drama show to the O2 Arena in London for a middleweight title defense against undefeated welterweight champ Kell Brook. Later that night, we'll replay Golovkin versus Brook alongside live boxing headlined by Chocolatito Gonzalez, who will attempt to win a title in his 4th weight class, taking on unbeaten Carlos Cuadras. 1 week later on September 17, superstar Canelo Alvarez challenges for Liam Smith's 154-pound title belt on HBO pay-per-view. Some boxing fans are disappointed that Canelo Alvarez is not going forward toward the Triple G fight right away, but we've got them back-to-back for you on September 10, Triple G, and September 17, Canelo Alvarez. Here's a straight right hand down the middle.
That was a good right hand that may have caused a cut.
That caused the cut, yeah.
Yes.
See the little trickle of blood immediately following that. So Karpensy saw that as a moment of urgency for him, and fired off a series of combinations afterward, trying to turn the fight back around in his favor.
Maybe I'm generalizing, but I noticed Lomachenko does this, and also a Ukrainian fighter. What I like from Gvozdyk after the knockdown, when he's tried to settle in, Roy, is the variation in speed and force that he throws on his punches. And generally they've been range-finding kind of tap shots looking for openings, and he's kind of resumed control of the fight doing that.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier. Good body shot, though. That's what I said earlier, Max. Those European fighters, a lot of times, they know how to throw punches that are really range finders. I call it in my gym, we go fishing. You know, you throw little punches until you find that opening. Once you find that opening, then you explode.
Gvozdyk has rebuilt his game brick by brick since the shocking moment in the first round when Karpensy knocked him down with a quick right hook inside.
Yeah, and it was no flash knockdown. I mean, he got up on unsteady legs.
And I know now Karpensy wish he had gone after him then, because since that time he hasn't been able to get him back on unstable legs anymore.
Well, to your point, Roy, even when Gvozdyk's been hit, he's seen the punches since then and has been able to brace for them better.
And Karpensy is really tired now. If Gvozdyk is smart, he'll go to the body. A couple good hard body shots would probably end this fight for him now.
Power punches in round 6. With less than a minute and a half to go in the round, Karpensy has yet to land one in this round. So he's become a much more sort of on his heels defensive fighter in the wake of that cut on the bridge of the nose.
Yeah, and Gvozdyk just tried a good right hand to the body right there, so he knows that Karpensy may be fading a little bit.
The question is, at the end of the last round, was that Karpensy's last stand? And
body shot knocks Karpensy down. Straight right hand to the liver by Alexander Gvozdyk. Perfectly chosen shot.
I told you, Jim, it was just a matter
of time. That's a knockout victory in round 6 for Alexander Gvozdyk, as Tommy Karpensy chose to stay down at a moment when clearly he could have risen had he wanted to.
Sometimes you see a fighter who is discouraged, believes he's going to lose, give it one last shot, see if he can do something, and if his opponent responds, he packs it in.
And you saw that last shot at the end of round 5.
He hit me and pushed my eye back. It's blurry. Punch. Yeah, no, he's come here.
So, a moment of consternation in round number 1 ultimately gives way to yet another dominant victory for Alexander Gvozdyk. And Tommy Karpensy has another hard luck story to add to a career full of them.
Here you see Karpensy. At this time, we have seen him mess with the eye a couple times. And that straight right there hit the eye again. And he hit it right there. You see his hand on his eye. His eye was pretty hurt. I think the knuckle pushed the eyeball back, and I think it caused his vision to blur. Then that straight right to the body gave just another reason to go down. But I knew a good body shot would cause problems at that point because he was so fatigued.
Predicted it perfectly, Roy. You said a body shot could get him out of there, and that was in fact the case. It was kind of a delayed reaction knockdown. Karpensy evaluated the effect of the body shot and said, I'll take a knee.
Good enough reason to stop fighting at that point.
Well, so Gvozdyk has something new on his resume, having now been knocked down once as a professional. That's good experience to put behind you.
Very good experience, and he learned from it because, as you notice, after that knockdown, anytime he got through throwing big punches or combinations, he either moved out to the left or to the right, never staying right there in front of the target.
Michael Buffer is standing by with the particulars on the knockout.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here at the MGM Grand, the end of this contest comes at 2 minutes 21 seconds of round number 6. The winner by knockout victory, still the undefeated NABF light heavyweight champion from Ukraine, Olexandr Gvozdyk.
And you see the vicious cut across the bridge of the nose. Final CompuBox numbers, Gvozdyk landing 101 out of 397. They're equal at 25%. Karpensy matched Gvozdik's pace for the first round and a half and then gradually ebbed away as Gvozdik was more and more active and more in control. Power punches, Gvozdik landing 91 out of 268. That's not an overwhelmingly high percentage, but it was good enough. As the punches got the damage done, ultimately forcing Karpensy to take a knee and stay down. So we are in Sin City for a big night of HBO pay-per-view boxing. And next up, Francisco Chia Santana, a fan favorite in Southern California, takes on undefeated Jose Benavidez, who counts 16 KOs among his 24 wins. Then 120